The year was 2018. In the corner of a warmly lit karaoke bar in Seattle, I was interviewing Greg Johnson, the creator of ToeJam Earl and an industry veteran who I'd been enamored with since I bought the original cartridge for the Sega Genesis at a thrift store when I was only 10 years old. We spoke about what it was like working in an infantile game industry, and more specifically, what it was like to work at Sega in the early 90s. The conversation turned more and more towards Sega, and he began to open up about his many experiences with the company and the characters that he created. He revealed that ToeJam Earl had been passed over for being the mascot of the company to some blasted blue hedgehog, and expressed a deep amount of frustration since he was never able to make another ToeJam Earl game in the same essence of the original. He also digressed as to how various reboots of the characters had been rejected by numerous publishers throughout the years. However, he had then expressed how thankful he was to be able to kickstart this newest game featuring ToeJam Earl, having always had faith in knowing that fans would remain committed and support the IP. Yet apart from funding, these fans have been able to do what those publishers never could, a guiding principle to making the best game that those growing up with the originals would love, and allowing Greg's team to experiment with new factors that potential players could enjoy. Considering this, if you come to appreciate developer Human Nature's ToeJam Earl Back in the Groove, you will understand that this is the definitive version of a game that has its DNA rooted in the 90s, holding up significantly thanks to a polish that could have only been granted thanks to the time and dedication that comes within working on a game for almost 5 years. Back in the Groove still manages to be refreshing despite being deeply embedded with nostalgia, since there hasn't really been games like the original ToeJam Earl since 1991, and the 5 years in development have evidently been well managed and fruitful, as the style, polished presentation, and ample amount of content in the game proves that this is the best product that it possibly can be. ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove is, as I mentioned, a true reboot of the original game that was on the Sega Genesis. To put it plainly, in the words of Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody from the new DC Universe original show Doom Patrol, this game is funky. It's not an action-packed title, but rather meant to be a chill and laid-back isometric gaming experience, one that's played with you or up to 4 friends online or locally. Much like the original, you travel through a consecutive series of levels that are randomly generated islands in the sky, as you get higher and higher in the game with the 9 different playable characters. You explore and collect items in a way that's much like a roguelike, gaining new abilities that either hinder, harm, or humor with every present you unwrap. As well, much like any good roguelike, ToeJam Earl Back in the Groove has a deep amount of replayability. One of the strongest aspects of this replayability comes with just how much sheer content the game had. If you factor in the amount of time I've played the game at various events, I found myself investing almost 40 hours to the game across numerous platforms. Within these hours, I'm constantly overwhelmed by the new enemies I encounter, with the sight gags being internet trolls, overeager fans, and even Gandhi. As well, with each finished playthrough of the game, you are provided with a power hack. These grant special abilities that range from an increase in your base stats, or even the special ability to walk on water during a playthrough, allowing the player to experiment with a variety of different builds. Another facet of the game that makes it a replayably rewarding experience is the game's music. To quote Bruce Campbell playing Ash from the second Evil Dead film by Sam Raimi, this music is groovy. And without the limitations of the Sega Genesis sound chip, the artist Cody Wright has managed to create an OST that rivals any lo-fi hip-hop beats to study for, as these lo-fi hip-hop beats are to live for. Overall, ToeJam Earl Back in the Groove is a passion project primarily, and it really shows. Every single facet of the game is emblematic of industry veterans tuning and experience to the exact minutia desired. Among all the platforms I've played the game on, having a chill and relaxing game that I can methodically play at my own pace endlessly on the Nintendo Switch makes this a definitive addition to the system's ever-growing library. Hopefully, with support, this title will pave the way for more games from Human Nature Studios, as Greg and the team have shown how strong their talents as developers are, and will undoubtedly have incredible experiences to follow this up. Hi, thanks for watching. My name is Daniel Dan or Danny Thompson. I do these videos for, as the kids say in everyday life, fun. And I work a full-time job and I'm also a full-time student. I'd love to do more videos like this, but that would mean that Google would have to stop taking a majority of the ad revenue that I generate for their site. So if you want to back me on Patreon, you can be a part of one of the least organized Discord servers on the planet. Talk to me as I ramble about things like the books I'm reading and the videos I'm making, if that's something that you care about. This review, however, is brought to you by my first and only patron, Megamonse, who backed me on a producer's level. Let's watch together and weep as her name is the only one that scrolls by in the credits. Thank you, Megamonse. You're the hero we need, the hero that made this video possible, and the hero that's gonna let me buy the largest size pizza that Sibeli's offers. Heck yeah. White pie, cucumber, bacon on that. It's the works. It's gonna be great. Thank you. I'll eat it. That's what I'll eat over the entire month. That's gonna be the only thing that goes into my body.